So it's 3 weeks since I had my stoma surgery, and I thought what I'd do is do a little video showing you exactly what you can eat in the period after surgery. In hospital, the doctors and nurses will tell you to follow a low fibre, low residue diet for the first 4 to 6 weeks after surgery. And I thought what I would do is show you how I've been following that at home when I'm cooking meals in my own kitchen, and also how I've been following that when I've been out and about picking up stuff in town. Hopefully what you'll see is that this low fibre, low residue diet isn't as boring as it sounds, and to be honest, for me, it's been really enjoyable because in the weeks and months leading up to my surgery, I was basically living off soup and mashed potatoes, and it was all pretty bleak. And I hope what you'll see is, although low fibre, low residue diet does sound pretty dull, it's actually pretty tasty, it's pretty filling, it's basically just comfort food. So first things first, I'll show you what exactly is this low fibre, low residue diet. So the low fibre, low residue diet basically looks to limit dietary fibre, which is part of plants that aren't digested or absorbed by the small gut. Obviously, if you've got a stoma, and specifically an ileostomy, this stuff will come straight out into your bag. The reason this diet can be helpful is if your bowel is narrowed and at risk of blockage, if you have diarrhea or loose stools, or if you've had recent bowel surgery. So I think I'll focus on what you can rather than what you cannot eat on this diet, and basically it's starchy, beige comfort food. The diet basically consists of white bread, white flour, white rice, pasta, noodles, couscous, gnocchi, crackers, cereals, oats, potatoes without the skins, milk, cheese, yogurt, meat and poultry including bacon and sausages, fish and eggs. When it comes to vegetables, it's a lot more limited. Basically, I've been living off avocado, sweet potato, aubergines and courgettes, all of that without the skins. With fruit, I've been eating a lot of bananas and apples without the skins. For snacks, we've had biscuits, cakes, smooth nut butters and crisps. Alright, so this is my kitchen. It is 1:20. I normally have lunch as my first meal of the day. I don't really eat breakfast. I've always done that with Crohn's disease just because I feel like it gives the bowel a bit of rest. What I'm having is beef broth, which is another thing that I've kind of made a bit of a habit with Crohn's, is trying to get a lot of broth in because it's high in collagen and it's meant to be good for sort of gut rest, for gut healing and just keeping everything in good shape. So I have a mug of bone broth and I've got a chicken sandwich. The reason for the chicken sandwich is it's obviously low fibre, low residue. The bread should slow down my output a bit, so it should sort of stop stuff coming out too quickly or too loose, and mean that I absorb more of the nutrients. In there's chicken, so high protein, should help the sort of stomach muscles, which have obviously been cut open in surgery, to heal. There's avocado, which is one of the very few vegetables I'm allowed to eat at the moment, and bit of mayonnaise, bit of butter, just to make it taste better. But yeah, I've been eating loads of sandwiches since surgery just because it's soft and goes through easily, and like I said, slows down the output. So I will eat this, and I'll show you what I have later in the day. Like I said, I don't have breakfast, but I tend to have a breakfasty type of meal at 4 or 5, and then dinner later on. So I'll eat that and I'll show you what that looks like later. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, and for my second meal of the day, which like I said earlier is normally mid-afternoon, I'm having this. I'll show you. It is Greek yogurt with protein powder mixed into it, and some peanut butter and banana mixed in as well. And basically I'd be having it every day really since surgery. It's really high in protein, obviously, with the Greek yogurt and the protein powder, and the bananas and the yogurt both slow down motility, which basically means that stuff travels through your digestive system a bit slower. And because if you've got a stoma, you've obviously only got sort of half a digestive system. You need stuff to go through basically as slowly as possible, 1, to control the output, and 2, just to make sure that you manage to break it down and get the calories from it, and digest it properly. So I'll eat this. I'll be having dinner in 3 or 4 hours. I'll show you what I'm making then.
With their defences, we're now tactically smart than managers. It does feel like adding one in the car.
So I've got just bangers and mash for dinner. Once again, high protein and low fibre. I think no fibre. Don't think there's any fibre in potatoes and sausages. There might be. I don't think there's much though. Just a point about the protein sort of thing. I've not really ever been a stickler for sort of counting macronutrients and all that sort of stuff. But when I was in hospital, I was watching videos put out by a guy called, I think it was Joseph Greenlee, who is a guy who got a stoma, I think an ileostomy, and I think prior to the ileostomy he was a powerlifter, and he sort of got back into powerlifting post ileostomy, and he's made a sort of YouTube channel about it. Basically, he's got a video where he talks about the importance of eating protein to stop yourself getting hernias because it repairs the stomach muscles post-surgery. And I just thought that's good advice to follow. He's a sort of guy who does what I'm interested in doing, getting back into being an athlete and playing sport and stuff despite having a bag and having the surgery. So I thought that was good advice to follow. I'm obviously not a nutritionist or a dietitian or anything, but I might link his video if I can, just so you guys can see that advice. Anyway, I'm going to eat this, watch the football, and later on after dinner I've always been having a cup of tea, a cup of honeybush tea, because it's just really high in anti-inflammatories, and as Crohn's is a inflammatory bowel disease, it's obviously good to have that sort of stuff. But I won't show you that because it's just tea. So I'm out and about. I am very excited to eat that croissant. When I was first diagnosed with Crohn's, there was a sort of indication that I might also be celiac. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've really avoided gluten and haven't had a croissant, I don't think, in that time. And yeah, can't wait to get tucked into it. Coffee is another one that's been a massive change since surgery. Before surgery, I could drink coffee, but it would give me a lot of symptoms with my Crohn's. And now that I've got the bag, I seem to be able to tolerate coffee a lot better and don't really have any of the negative effects of it. So it's pretty good. I think later on I'm gonna pop out and get a bagel, which I'm also very excited about. I'm just getting all the gluten into me whilst I sort of feel like I can. And I'm gonna do a gluten test in 6 weeks' time, just to confirm whether or not I am celiac, because it's kind of up in the air, and I just want to get it sort of sorted out once and for all. So yeah, I'll show you what I'm eating later for lunch. So I just went and bought a chicken, salami, ham, cheese, fucking else on the floor, sandwich for lunch. Same sort of thing as yesterday, I guess. The bread slows down motility, meaning you can get more of the calories in. It's relatively high protein, and it's all low fibre, low residue. So I guess it just shows you that when you're out and about, you can eat more or less anything you eat at home, and you can probably make it a bit nicer because, you know, shop bought stuff is better than the crap that I cook. But yeah, you can really sort of do anything when you're out and about. You just got to pick the right options. I mean, this bagel place that I went to had some amazing options that I think when I'm a few weeks further recovered and can handle sort of like seeded bagels and more chewy meats and spices and all that sort of stuff, I'll definitely get some of that. Anyway, I'm going to a mate's later, and I think we're going to get takeout, so I will show you what we have then. So I've gone for fish and chips, all low fibre, low residue. I think, I'm not actually sure about the fish with the batter, but I think so. Either way, very excited for this. Haven't eaten this sort of thing in years, and I'm going to tuck in, and I'll let you know tomorrow if it makes me crap myself. So I thought it'd be best to provide you with a little update after leaving you on that cliffhanger. The fish and chips caused no problems. My output's been good all day. And yeah, if you've got any worries about fish and chips whilst you're on this diet, then from my experience, you should be fine. You also will have noticed throughout the video me mentioning little things like missing breakfast and drinking broth and trying to keep my protein intake high. I'll go into detail on those things and other little tips and tricks I use to sort of help digestion with inflammatory bowel disease. In a later video, I'll go into it in far more depth. And I apologise for the sort of vloggy nature of this video. I had planned to do a video on my full background with Crohn's, but I needed to get my original discharge letter from the GP, so I've written to them and they should be releasing that to me in the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll get a video like that up soon. And as always, if you know anyone who's got IBD, that's Crohn's or colitis, or anyone who's been through stoma surgery, please feel free to share this video with them. Hopefully it can help them, and hopefully it can also provide them with a little bit of hope that the immediate weeks after surgery, their diet's not going to be boring, and if they're anything like me, the diet's going to be a heck of a lot better than it was going into surgery.